Come on, everybody. Who are you inviting tonight to join us? Come on, can you take a moment? Take a moment and tag somebody online. Take a moment and let them know that we are on. Come on. Can you hear me? Let me know that you can hear me. Let me know that you can hear me. I want you to take a moment and let them know that we are on today. We are online today. Oh my goodness. I thank God for you. Come on, who's on? Who's inviting somebody? I see you on tonight. I can hear you. Thank you, Sister Tara. I see you guys on tonight. Man, looking good, everybody. Oh, come on. Let me know that you're on. Let me know that you're watching. Who are you inviting to Bible study tonight? Thank you for being on. Thank you so much. We got something special for you tonight. And let's just take a moment. Sister Thrita, I see you. Sister Thomas, I see you. Brother Robert, I see you. We're going to do something that's so special. And we got some special guests that are with us. That's our family. That's a part of us. So we thank you. But I want to take a minute. I want you to tag 5 people. We need 5 people to tag one person and tell them we are on for Bible study tonight. Tag them. Let me know. Bishop is on. Thank you for being on. Bishop, Sister Thrita, thank you for being on. We can hear you. Thank you, Sister Monica. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being on, Sister Thrita. Thank you. Elder Thomas, thank you. Listen, got something special, something good to share tonight. And we want to do it. Let's get in here. Listen, we are talking about parenting. Now, we had a real talk session, and we had a real talk session on Sunday night with the women's ministry here in Fresno campus. We're going to be flip-flopping. I wanted to be in, I was trying to be in Modesto today, but I had to work. But all the way from Modesto, we have, I'm going to put them on there.
We buffering.
You buffering, you got me? Oh, man, there you go. Deacon Floyd Jones Jr., Deacon Eastland. Also, I think my buddy jumped in here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me all right?
I'm in here. Can you
Come
hear
on.
me?
Deacon Glover is on too. Come on.
I'm at work, but I'm here.
You here. You here.
Amen.
You here. Thank you so much. Deacon Floyd, you good?
Trying to get my headphones to work.
Everybody in? Everybody good? Deacon Floyd. Here we go. We're gonna be moving in here. Deacon Glover.
Yes, sir.
Listen, I need 10 people to type in the chat box parenting. Parenting. Type that in the chat box. Parenting. That's what we're talking about tonight. I want you. Thank you for those who are inviting people to jump on. Thank you for those who are on with us. Deacon Glover.
Yes, sir.
We already know your name, Deacon, but tell us how many kids you have, the ages. Tell us that.
I've got 4 children, ages 25, 23, 21, and a 12-year-old.
Okay. 25, 23, 21, 12-year-old.
And 12.
12. Let me see. Y'all ready? Deke, y'all ready?
He's there.
Yeah.
There we go. There we go. So you got a 25-year-old, 23.
Yep.
21.
21.
And a 12.
And 12.
Any grandkids?
No grandchildren yet. They got a puppy.
Deacon Floyd, how many kids do you have in ages? Let us know.
I have 7 total.
Do you?
7. 3 girls, 4 boys. Forgive me, I had to write this down because the ages I lose track.
He said he'd write it down.
My oldest will be 40 in August. She lives in Georgia. And my second oldest lives in Oakland. Her name is Shariana. And Taisha, my third oldest, she lives in Florida.
Okay.
And I have 4 boys. Floyd Jr. He lives in Pittsburgh. He'll be 34 on the 25th of next month. I have Gary. He'll be 28 in December. James is 25. He made 25 on Valentine's Day. And Jamari is going on 17.
17.
And I have 7 grandkids.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No,
man.
I'm sorry. I have 10 grandkids.
Wow.
Okay. Deacon Eastland, let me know. Deacon Eastland.
Well, mine's gonna be take up this whole night. So I got a lot of children. Not children, children.
You still there?
Are you still there, Pastor?
Keep going.
Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. So I got 11 kids. I got 8 boys and 3 girls. The oldest is 50 and the youngest is 35. I ain't gonna name the age. I ain't gonna say the ages of all of them because, like I said, we don't have that much time. But I do have 26 grandkids.
Amen.
6 great grandkids, and 2 in the oven.
2. You said you got 26?
26 grandkids, yeah,
Wow.
and 6 great grandkids, and
6
two great grandkids in the oven. So it'll be 8 this year.
Oh man. My goodness. We're gonna have a good panel. I got 1 son, and he's 4 years old. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Just begun.
You better catch up.
Listen, real quick, let's jump into this panel. Tell me this. This is just a real talk session. We're just talking. As a parent, Deacon Glover, what is your greatest joy as a parent? Talk to me.
Oh man, I would have to say my greatest joy just happened recently. My daughter Jalen. She's my younger daughter. She's the 21-year-old. That's 23-year-old. Recently married, and she's been working on some cooking as far as a side business. Now, just the other night, Friday night, we all went over to their house, to my kids' house for dinner, and she laid out a spread, man. Just a taste session, so to taste some of the things that she's cooking.
Right.
And I just in the moment caught me as we were all there. We playing dominoes in the back, the guys, and all that. And I just looked into the house, and I'm looking through the window. My wife's sitting on the couch watching TV. My little boy, he's in there by his mom always, and I'm watching my other 3 kids, my 3 adult kids, and their friends, and just congregating and moving in their own house. And I just had a moment. It really caught me, and just, man, look at this. We created this. The Lord blessed us with this. It's just a start. And looking at those kids and the way they're interacting, and just how they've grown into their own personalities, it was a joy to watch. And it made me think we need to get some land.
Okay.
Because if I get to where Deacon Eastland is with 26 grandkids, Lord Jesus, how are we gonna have them all in the house?
Come on, Deacon Floyd. What's your greatest joy as being a parent?
To see them succeed in life. I mean, just to do better. I mean, especially coming from the background that I came from, growing up in the hood and seeing some of the things I've seen. I wanted better for my kids. I wanted something different. And I just didn't want them to struggle as I struggled. So I always pushed them to do better. Don't look at me as what I used to do. Look at me as the man I am today. And that helps him. My son tells me all the time, Dad, I'm so proud of the man you are today, because now we have a serious father-son relationship. And now I can guide him and show him how to be a man to his soon-to-be wife, or show my daughters how to choose a husband that's worthy of them. because you don't accept just anything,
Right.
because that's not the way.
Right.
Don't sell yourself short. So I'm happy to see my kids succeed and do better than me.
Right. Great joy. Deacon Eastland.
Yeah, my greatest joy is that all my kids are grown, but they still come to me for counseling.
Right.
And not only them, they bring their friends and everybody call me pops. So I just don't have just my children. I have their friends as my kids too. So I get a great joy out of it. Because they always bragging on me.
Right. Good. That's good. Let me ask this question again, going around. I'll go back to you, Deacon Glover. Do you feel that your method of discipline was successful? Let's talk about your older, children. Do you feel like your method was successful? Would you do it again? Talk to me about that.
Oh, well, I'll tell you like this. I was when I was younger, when they were younger, the judgment was swift and had an impact. I didn't have to whoop them much, but I didn't have to whoop them much. But the judgment was swift, and I would have to say, as I've gotten older, especially with the younger guy, I'm trying to learn how to talk to them and raise them up, because being that the judgment was swift back in the day, I don't know if they felt some kind of way. Now the girls, they were scared to get whoopings, but my boy, he's got a whole lot of me. He's kind of hard headed. So my oldest son, I had to get him one time. I got him good, and I'm not proud of it, but because it was one that stuck with him for a while, and it kind of altered our relationship for a while. But praise God that it's gotten back to where it should be.
Right.
And I'm thankful for that.
Right.
But now I've got 3 other kids that help parenting the little guy. When the old man is, look, I'm not gonna sit there and whoop on you, because that's not the discipline for him.
Right.
The discipline for him is to take things away from him.
We're gonna talk about that. Hold that. Fix your mic kind of went out on me, but I can hear you still.
I got my finger over it.
Yeah, you had the finger over it. A little bit better.
All right.
Yeah. No, we're gonna come back to that. Deacon Eastland, tell me this. How do you feel? Do you feel like your discipline was successful? Would you change anything? Talk to us.
I don't regret my chastisement to my kids, because it was needed as they was growing up, to know the right way to go and have to have a foundation, discipline. So I did whoop them a little bit all the way up to age 7 or 8. And after that, all I had to do is just talk to them or just look at them, and they know what to do.
Right.
You shouldn't have to whoop a kid when they start in high school.
That ain't whooping, that's fight.
Yeah,
that's a fight.
Yeah.
That's a fight.
It's a fight.
Deacon Floyd, what do you feel? How do you feel?
Yes, well, my kids growing up, my kids was more, my regret is I didn't discipline them as much because they was protected by their mom. If they did something that was out of line, their mom protected them, because I grew up kind of rough myself. My dad, he would get on us quick, and I would do the same thing to my kids. So my kids, they stayed in line around me, and I didn't hear about it till it was over with, but that don't mean you're not in trouble.
Yeah.
So you start taking things from them that they really have a passion for. If you played sports, you're not playing this week. If you like video games, you give me that. Let me get that. Let me get that. I couldn't put my hands on them because I'm heavy-handed, and even back then, man, you go to jail for the kids. So I couldn't do that. But so my wife, my kid's mother, my first kid's mother, she would really do the discipline. but I regret that I didn't, because the way they started off real rough, just falling out of, just doing things out of order. But as I got older and started to change my life, they start watching my walk and start watching how I was doing things, and they just start falling in line as they got older. But disciplining them, I regret I didn't do it as much as a father need to. Discipline is needed.
Yeah.
That's good. We're going. So there's a thing that's, I mean, you could think about it. They would say the new generation versus old, timeout versus spanking. I mean, what's your guys' point of view on that? Talk to me about that.
Time out.
But even as you see, Deacon Easton, like your grandkids and how your children interact with their kids, but just your view of what do you think about it?
You know, go ahead, Deacon Easton.
Oh yeah, because kids are getting out of control now. I mean, it's really hard to try to put a finger on where the kids are going. You know how they say, the children are our future.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be here when they get up in age, because we get in trouble. They kids today. No, let me tell this story. I met this guy at the hospital. He was telling me about his wife, who is a teacher. She was in class, and one of the little girls was acting up and said, "Hey, you need to go over there and sit down." So the little girl stood up in front of the whole class and said, "Y'all better get her, because I haven't took my medicine today."
Oh,
wow. So his wife said, "No, y'all better get her. I ain't took my medicine in over a month."
Oh man.
Right.
But the kids are raising themselves these days, from what I can see.
Yeah.
And I just don't see
I think with my kids,
no structure at all.
Right.
Yeah, with my youngsters, we do a timeout. Just take away the Wi-Fi.
Right.
Yeah.
You take their Wi-Fi away, boy. They lose their minds.
You do.
I can't get on my phone. I can't. Dad, what do you need me to do? I took care of the garbage. Now the chore list comes down.
Right.
You gotta take care of your business. You don't just get free Wi-Fi around here. But you have to find what their passion is, like Deacon Floyd said. You got to find out what really motivates them.
Right.
With my oldest boy, it was docking him money. My oldest boy, he likes that money. And we had a savings account for him. We always give him his allowance and stuff, but he started getting this stuff docked. He ain't like that, But you got to find what it is that motivates that child.
Right.
That's the biggest thing.
Right. Let's go to that then. I like that, because if you have multiple children, I mean, different things work for each one of them. Let's talk about how to deal with them differently. Let's talk about that for a moment. How to deal with them differently.
I'll tell you,
go ahead.
With my four, I'm gonna speak quickly. With my four, my girls, they were terrified of their mother. Sister Glover put a fear in those girls, which was good. They come to me and I'm like, what you want to say? You gonna get me in trouble. But with Jalea, my oldest, you just have to look at her funny and she just collapses. Jalen, she's a Taurus, so she gonna butt heads with you. And she'll give you the horns if you're not right. But she'll listen. She'll listen. She's a sweetheart too. Junior's an Aries. He's a Ram. He'll butt heads, but he's got some fire in his belly, as well as Jeremiah, my little Scorpio baby, who likes to try to get the last word in all the time. So each of the children have their own characteristics. And praise God, I don't have 8 like Deacon East. Lord Jesus. That's too much going on in the house.
Yeah, it
Right.
is. Yeah, it was.
Deacon Floyd, tell me, how is
Yeah.
that dynamic?
It's a challenge because I have my daughter and my son, my two oldest kids. They both are very well versed. They can have a conversation with the most educated or the most intelligent person, and you'll think that they had a bachelor's degree in communication. And me, myself, where does that come from? So I have to talk to them or try to deal with them almost the same but different because their personalities are different. My son, he's I know you're watching too, so I'm gonna talk about it. So I know my son he's more stubborn. He's not easy to talk to sometimes. But my daughter, my oldest daughter, I can talk to her. She's my baby. She'll always be my baby because she's my firstborn. I mean, I can talk to her and she's sensitive to anything I say to her, whether it hurt her feelings or not. My son, I can say something to him, it hurt his feelings, rubbing him the wrong way. Dad, I'll talk to you later. Hang up the phone. And he'll call me back 2 days later, Dad, I'm sorry, I just didn't like what you said. Forgive me. And just dealing with them differently because I know they have different personalities.
Right. How do you feel, Deacon Eastland?
Well, all my kids had different personalities, so there's a whole bunch of confusion going on in the house. But I always, that's the way my mom raised me. If one in trouble, all in trouble.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if one act up, everybody gonna get it. So they have to raise each other. Hey, we don't want to make Dad mad, so don't do that. So it was fun though to me to watch them mature.
Right.
From structure.
Yes.
Right. That's good.
And Pastor, can I add something to that?
Go ahead.
With them being different, with our children being different, they have a line of loyalty they won't cross for nobody. My kids will not tell on each other. I'm whooping everybody who did it. They won't tell. Everybody take a whooping. But when the shoe was on the other foot, it was me. Oh, it was Kenny. Kenny did it. He did it. Hey, there's a difference between snitching and telling. I'm gonna tell you.
That's Don dropping.
I'm gonna tell him right in my face. He did it. So to get that snitch stuff, I'm telling. So don't.
No, that's good. That's good. We're living in a generation where technology is king. When we see this, and I think Lisa talked about it from your grandkids, how you see that. Deacon Glover was talking about it a little bit, and Deacon Floyd. But are kids too influenced by technology? Do you see them too influenced by technology, cell phone, iPad, video games, and the effects? Do you see it being good or bad? I might chime in on this one, but Deacon Glover, chime in on that.
I'm gonna tell you this one real quick before I go. It's something that Pastor Robinson said in one of his messages. As far as the more technology we get, the dumber they are. The kids become dumb and stumps. They got all the information right there at their fingertips, and don't know how to use it. Though they think they do, they get caught up in the. We all know that nowadays, especially the young people, the junior high, going into junior high and the high school, there's so much social media out there that affects them in such a negative way. They have no idea. And as parents, we have to be a little bit more well-versed on it so we can kind of yank the plug from them every once in a while. You have to detach them from the Wi-Fi occasionally. You have to unplug them. Just like us as adults, we have to unplug every once in a while. You definitely need to do it with these kids. and bring them back into just a family forum. Because what happens is that they start to get isolated. And once they're isolated, that's when the enemy can work on you. Well, kids and adults is in isolation. So you have to unplug them every once in a while. It's a great thing, but if used incorrectly, it can be detrimental to their spirit as well as their mental, most importantly. Now, Pastor, I got to go. I got to finish my route.
I see. You dropped that down. Listen,
I got about 20 more stops. It's starting to get dark.
All right. All right. Thank you, Deacon Glover.
Y'all be good. Praise the Lord, everybody.
All right, brother.
I'm gonna come back to what he said too, but what do you guys think about that technology?
Well, for me, technology, it could hurt them, and it can also help them. But there's no excuse with the technology they have today for their educations to learn anything, to do anything as far as reading, studying. It's all at the push of a button. Remember when I was growing up, when we wanted to find out a word, we had this thing called an encyclopedia where we had to, and our parents had bookcases full of them, A, B, C, D, E, any word that you wanted to look for, you can find it in the encyclopedia.
Yeah.
Now we have all this power in the palm of our hand, and we haven't even tapped into it. But we'll sit here and play Space Invaders or Madden on our phones, when if we use these as the tools they are to help us study and to get somewhere in life with, instead of just commenting on somebody's picture on Facebook or tagging them in some comment they said. If we use it for what it's worth, they'll get more advanced in life. Use it. It's there for you. I wish I had it when I was young. Our phones, I had a brick phone. Looked like I had a brick phone.
You talking about the old school?
That's old school, the brick. Man, you got to go get a card. You got to have money on your card and everything. And we used to text with our beeper and our pagers, and man, it's crazy.
Crazy. Deacon Easton, how you feel?
I don't know. I'm like Floyd, but I didn't have a brick phone. I had a shoe phone. I get smart. But the technology in the phones, it amazes me how a 8-month-old baby can open that phone up. Yeah. When you got it locked, they can open it up. Then you can't lock it no more. I've seen that happen. I've seen my great niece got her grandmother's phone. The phone was locked. She unlocked it. Then her grandmother couldn't operate it no more. When she got the phone back, she could operate it. Then she gave it back to the girl, and the girl started using the phone, started playing games. 8 months old.
She would set her own passcode.
But then, we had fought too, because I know that even with my wife, we can leave the house and we on a trip or something, and we 20 miles from the house, and she say, "Oh, I forgot my phone." You got to turn all the way around and go back. So we can blame it on the children. We can blame it on, that's just how the world is today.
That's how the world is.
If they're not on the phone or with the new technology, their friends are, and so that's how they communicate. They don't know how to communicate verbally like you're supposed to. They communicate by phone or whatever. TikTok and all that.
Right, different. I don't want to chime in on different things. I do want to speak about this one. I see the benefit in it. I think it's across the board. I think technology is affecting everybody, kids, adults. Right. I think from TV to cell phones to iPads to whatever the case may be. In a way, when me and my son play PlayStation, I'm teaching him still with buttons. He's learning what a triangle is. He's learning what a square is. He's learning certain movements, certain colors, some cognitive things that he can piece things together if we're playing a certain game. So I see the benefit in that. I see the benefit of when I was listening to the women's session, my wife was talking about Miss Monica. She's a YouTube person that does education. I thought she was very good. But when I think about unplugging or logging out of things, I think, like Deacon Easton was saying, like, this is the way of the world, right? This cell phone communication, the way things are happening. I don't have a TikTok, and I thought about it the other day. How am I really being relevant to the next generation if I can't even speak their language? Right. In a way, we can miss these moments and these opportunities. And I'm in a generation where I'm kind of like in between. Like, I want to still act like I'm young, Deacon Floyd, but I'm getting old too. But sometimes I feel outdated. Sometimes I feel outdated with my niece, my nephew, and just trying to stay fresh. I talked to somebody about something. Talk to me in the chat box. Come on, I'm feeling good right now. I talked to somebody about something about changing the order of service and making it different sometimes. And I was talking to them about how they would cook for their husband, and how they would cook different meals every day, right? They wasn't getting the same meal every day. They mixed it up. And I said, that's all we're trying to do. It's still food. It's still Christ. Yeah. But how do I mix it up? I mean, think about this. There are certain churches they're using technology to create like Minecraft Bible studies for their youth department, right? That's like next level thinking, but I'm reaching that level. I'm reaching there. So I see the benefit of it. But I think sometimes we all need to unplug from it some way, if it's TV or whatever. That's why I always messing with Pastor Robinson when we go on a fast, and I'll tell him, no cowboy movies. He's talking about, no. He'll say, oh, no. Yeah, it's a plus. I think social media can be very positive. I'm going to say this, and I'm done talking. I want to go back to the panel. I was listening to Dr. R.A. Vernon. Dr. R.A. Vernon he said, I was going to have to get off of Instagram because the reels, the things that was coming up, the content, he really couldn't control it until somebody told him, use these 3 dots and click the 3 dots. And when you see something, just put not interested. I've been doing that, and my content has changed on social media. So I'm like, this can be a blessing. You got to customize it, what works for you. I think it's a great way to win people to Christ. But I think with anything, we can all become consumed in it. So it's just a balance. And I think Deacon Glover was saying that. I think Deacon Eastland just creating that family balance where we have been at a dinner table one time, everybody on their phones. That's terrible. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's all that. Talk to me. I see you, Tamiko. You're saying something. Y'all talking to me tonight. I don't know if y'all like real talk or not, but I'm gonna see if y'all interact with me. Here, I got something hot. I got something special, but this is good. I'm facilitating, so I'm not gonna speak on this. I just wanted to talk about technology. It can be a blessing, it can be a curse. Either way, I believe it. Dating. What is an appropriate age for dating? How do you feel when you dealt with this? Deacon Eastland, how did you handle dating? Talk to me.
Dating is different between male and female. So with my boys.
Okay. You're going to open up some. Go ahead, Deke. Open it up.
With my boys, I always tell them, the same way I treat their mother is the same way they should treat every woman, no matter how the lady or the girl, they carry themselves, still treat her as a lady. But then, with my girls, they grown and everything, almost, 35, almost 40. I'm still not happy with them dating. They got kids. I still don't I don't like their boyfriends, their husbands. I just put up with them, but I just love my girls, it's just something about girls that I just don't. Yeah. For some reason, they just don't pick the right one for me, They don't meet my standards. I'm sorry. I hope they watch.
Powerful. What about you, Deacon?
Hey, I agree with Deacon Eastman 100%. It's a big difference for your child when they're male or female. Because with my son, it was really no, and I wasn't worried about him because I know he's very picky and he's very particular. He want to be financially stable before he commit to a serious relationship, and I respect him for that.
Yeah.
But my girls, man, don't even look at them. I didn't want. I mean, no age.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. So it's a difference, but you do have to let them grow up.
Right.
And you don't. I know how I was as a youngster. I mean, I'm gonna just be real. I was a dad at 17, so I know how I was.
Right.
So I want my children. I didn't want my daughters to grow up with some knucklehead that was like me in her ear. So no, you can't go to the movies with your friends because I know what happened when you leave with your female friend going to the movies. Y'all finna couple up with some little boys. No, you can't go. Me and your mom, we'll take you. We'll go. We'll sit there. You can be in the theater by yourself, but we're going to sit up here where we can see what's going on. No, you're not going like that. That's not going to happen.
This is good.
Hey, I had a problem though. Let me say this right. Let me say this right quick. You know, what I'm saying about my daughters is that I know my youngest daughter, when she first started dating and her and her boyfriend went out on a date, then they ended up calling me like at midnight. And I said, what's going on? We had a flat. I don't know how to change the tire. And I said, what about your boyfriend?
Oh yeah.
He said, you don't even know what a jack is.
Oh yeah.
So she said, can you talk on the phone and tell him how to change the flat? I said, no, I'd rather talk to you because you already been trained a little bit. You know how to jump a car off.
Yeah.
You know how to put gas in a car. But so I rather not talk to him. I can talk to you. So I talked to her through changing the tire.
Yes.
Right. Let's go a little bit deeper because this is going to take us to our next question. But you said it, Deacon Floyd. You didn't want her to, come across the knucklehead and all this. How important is it, though, to teach your daughters, be that voice for them about this man, and then even with their sons, really teaching them how to treat a woman, all that. Talk about the importance of that at a young age, teaching them the game.
Yes, the importance of it right now for me is the important part is being saved. Because when I wasn't saved, it was no thought of even caring. I didn't know how to be a parent without God, without Christ. With Christ in my life, I know how to be that example to my children. Because before I was saved, it was more about me. Even though I had kids and I took care of my kids as I was supposed to as a young father, I still didn't know how to actually be a parent that they could look to as an example to pattern their life behind. So how could I tell them what not to follow? And I'm still chasing every skirt that moves. Yeah. So being saved, it's a big difference. Your walk is your testimony. You don't have to tell them. Live right. They see you. Your kids watch you more than anybody. Yeah. And my son told me one time, he said, Dad, when you was out there, and this brought tears to my eyes. He said, Dad, I couldn't keep my eyes off of you when I was growing up. I wanted to be with you every day. I wanted to be just like you. And that touched me so much, Pastor Jay. I couldn't believe it. And I wasn't paying no attention. I didn't know my son paid attention to me like that. So our walk, our kids watching us. So to be saved, to have Christ in your life and be a family man, be a parent, that's the biggest thing that we have to understand. We have to have Christ in our life. Yeah.
Let's go deeper on that, though. Talk to me about this. Deacon Eastman, you too. We can walk it. Let's talk about talking it, though. Because some people there are certain conversations like sex. We're trying to, expose it. Mm-hmm. Or that we need to talk about, right?
Yes.
Talk to me about it. We got to live it out, right? Yes. But How do we talk? I want you to talk to some fathers about the importance of us talking to our children. Caleb is 4. I need to start. I mean, it's a good thing to introduce. He said, what did he say the other day? He said, so he be playing with his sister. And I'm like, okay. And he told his mama, he said, Zoe was kissing a boy, but I beat the boy up. He said, I beat the boy up. I said, you did? Yeah. But I'm like, the development is going to start happening. If I can be, yes, I'm living holy. I'm living this way, but talk to me about having those tough conversations. Because here's the tough conversation. It's going to lead me here. Let's circle back around. What if my son or daughter comes and talks to me about liking the same sex? Talk to me about these tough conversations.
That's a tough one because it's tough, and and I'm sure my daughter, she understands because it's all to help someone else. I experienced it head on, and me, I notice everything. I really do. But this young man that I thought was dating my daughter turned out not to be a young man. Right. And there's no way I could tell, honestly, until she used my restroom. And I went behind her and not just thinking it was a male. And it was just some things that women go through left in the bathroom. And I got a whole bunch of questions now. I mean, we having a powwow in my house, and I still had to show my daughter love because I didn't want to push her away. And that was the hard part. I didn't want to destroy her because she was going through something. And she's not that way today, but I don't know why kids feel like they have to experiment with something that they wasn't raised that way. But sometimes they do. But when you trust that God is going to give you what to say and how to act, because if I would have been hard on her, I probably wouldn't ever see my daughter again. If I would have just cut her off, cut her up with my words, because I could have really crushed her with my words. I was mad. Yeah. I was mad. You hiding this from me? You think I'm gonna accept this? I could have cut her up bad, but I didn't.
That's good. Deacon Eastland, talk to me.
Yeah, it's a hard subject because the society got it set to where it's same sex bathrooms and stuff like that, to where you can't they even got it to where at a young age you're identified. If you're a male, you can be if you want to be a female at 5 years old, you can. I'm a female in a male's body. They talk, the school system and society say that's okay. But we as Christians, they say, a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. He didn't say a man who finds a man. Yes. So we got to train our kids up biblically, what the Bible says.
Yes.
Right.
It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
Yes, sir.
But how do we can do that? If they make this decision, how do we approach that conversation in a way where we're not pushing them away? Or tell me about that. Tell me about that.
To me, you got to catch it really early, because you can see the symptoms. You can their conversation, or even if you even bring it up, or you can see it on TV and the certain way they act. You got to respond to it right then. Because if I have some relatives that's gay or whatever, and it all comes behind how their father treated their mother. So they had things against men.
Yes.
So all of us play a part. It's just in society say it's okay.
No, we're not here to bash. That's not what we're doing. So
No,
please
no.
don't. Yeah, nobody would think that. But you're absolutely right about what you said about television, because it's so out there now. You can be watching the game, you come a commercial, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And there have been times where I do have to tell Caleb, boys don't kiss boys, but that's the commercial we just saw,
Yes.
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'm watching CNN, and here comes
Yeah.
the commercial, which you want to put it out there, then I can put into him what I need to put into him, right?
Right.
Knowing that the best thing we can do, and parents, this is not nothing to bash anybody, but the Bible says train up a child, and we just trust God, they won't depart from it. We have a
Right.
part in their development. But what I really wanted to get to was, just these conversations. Deacon Floyd, you said it, and we do it with love,
Yeah.
right? That I'm not going to push you away. And if this is what you feel and that's how you are, and you know where my stance is, but I love you like Christ loves you.
Right.
You're right. And that's the thing. But I want to have that open relationship that you can have this conversation. And I'd rather Caleb hear it from me than have to hear it from somebody at school, because I didn't take the time to instill, like, let's have these conversations. Let's go there with it. And it's even if you have grandkids, I just feel like I never want people to feel like, beat themselves up, right? Like, maybe I didn't do good things as a parent. Maybe I see my mom and dad, and I see my mom now, how she handles her grandkids. I'm like, I know you've been changed. My mama, she's good, but I see her methods are changing, interacting, the way she interacts changes. And I'm just like, I see that. And so sometimes I do see myself parenting a certain way. And I, like, my son would do something and I'll say, well, don't do it. And he'll ask me why. And I'll say, because I said so. I'm like, that really is not an answer though. Let me tell him why. So I just think, don't beat yourself over the head. And if you got grandkids, it's an opportunity to show love there. Because my last question is, for some, I don't want anybody to feel like you failed. I just feel like if we got breath in our body, we have another chance to do better. But if you have adult kids, so Deacon Floyd, Deacon Eastland, how do I create these healthy boundaries now with my kids or even my grandkids? Because there are some people on here that you really are in part of your grandkids' life, but sometimes it can be friction because we may overstep our boundaries. How do you now handle with your adult kids? Kind of let them fall if they have to, or correction, or like Deacon Easton said, they might come to you. But just being able to move on from here as a parent, and if I do have adult kids, like, how can I, parent them now, in a way where we move forward, right? For those who felt like maybe they didn't do a good job, but what can you do? You can just be better now, right?
Yeah, be better
Or
now.
even have conversations about if there was something wrong or how you handled it. Like, it's okay to apologize. Let's process it.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. Things happen, right? I don't like that. I said something that I did not like. Yes, we want to move forward, but there are some stuff that has happened in our life, in our childhood, and maybe we feel like it was overlooked, and maybe this is our opportunity to like, let's deal with this so we can be healed from it, right? Talk to me about that.
Yes, I tell my kids all the time. It's basically, I just don't want you to go through the things that I went through. So if my adult kids, if I feel like I haven't been the best parent to them, what I do now is really I still get out of the way, because a lot of times kids have to go through things. Like, we had to go through certain things to get to where God wanted us to be. And as parents, we just don't want our kids to just bump their head. It's hard. We try to soften the blow for them. And that's all I try to do with my kids. But I had to learn with, especially my oldest daughter, because she always called me in, seemed like it was always in need of something, which at the time I'm just here, but not knowing I'm handicapping her. And that's not what God wanted me to do. He didn't want me to keep giving her every time she asked me. God wanted her to seek him. Come to him with these needs, these wants that you have, and these cares that you're worried about. I can't fix every problem you have. So, I mean, our adult kids, I help them now better by, like I said earlier, living and walking right before them. I can't change the time, but with their kids, I'm better with their kids. And they see that.
Yeah. I know I get jealous when I see that. but look, I gotta give them grace to be better.
Yeah.
What you think, Deacon Eastland?
Well, man, it's still male and female. You know, I won't help my daughters out if they got a male friend. You know, I'm not going to take care of somebody else's son.
That's good.
You know, I'm not going to do that. Then when it comes to my own sons, you know, they probably say, "Hey, Dad, I need some money for the PG&E." I send them to them right away because I don't want them coming home. You know, I pay them to stay away. You know, I pay my sons, do not come home.
Yeah.
Whatever you need, I'll pay you. But my daughters, you leave that man and you can come home anytime you want to. But my boys don't come home.
Yeah. No
but
remorse.
I'm not taking care of nobody else's son. So
listen, you gonna make, that's another hour. Don't open that up. You can't open that up with 3 minutes. Oh, listen. Sister Tamiko, let me speak to you. Deacon Floyd said it too. I'm gonna live, I'm gonna parent, I'm gonna do what God has called me to do now. It's okay to apologize. Let me where Bishop at? Let me say something. I'm gonna tell him myself and I'm done. Believe it or not, Deacon Floyd, Deacon Eastland. Me and my dad got in a little argument today. We went back and forth. And we alike. We are people. One thing about me and him, I'm trying to be more confrontational and don't wait till I get to a 10 to go off. But he gonna go. He either a 1 or he a 10. And if we argue, me and him will play on words. We know how to. So he said something, and I said, "Okay, if we're gonna do this, you are." So me and him was ready. we went back. And no lie, Holy Spirit convicted me. Oh, Bishop said what? Bishop said what? He like he don't know what happened. No, Holy Spirit convicted me because I realized that it ain't worth it, right? I'm an adult, he's an adult, but at the end of the day, he's still my father. And I need to respect him. I need to honor him. And I called him back and I said, "I'm sorry." I said, and it was over something in church. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, if something was to happen to him today, I don't know what I would do with myself over an argument that meant nothing. It really don't mean nothing. Like, right. We could have come to an agreement, everything would be okay. And I called him and I apologized and I said, "I don't want to talk to you that way. You're my father." Now somebody would have told me it's business, right? If it's church related, it's business. I could have took that approach. But even in business, I never want to speak to nobody that way, right? Especially my father. And sometimes that's the hardest things to do in ministry when you work with family or if you work with them on a job, to respect them. Because Deacon Floyd, I wouldn't have talked to you the way I talked to him today. Even if I was angry, you know? And I said, I don't want to take that for granted. And I said, I apologize. I don't want to talk that way. I want to see you. You're my dad. I'm going to honor you. I'm going to do that. So I think like even as an adult, you're still learning, right? Yeah. To interact and have that boundaries and And sometimes some grandparents do overstep their boundaries, and they're, you know, overriding the mom and daddy and the grandkids. And then too, my mom told me one time, she said, I want to be seen as the grandma. I'm not trying to whoop and this, you know, I just want to be the grandma. I want to be the grandpa. I want them to love to come over here and just, you know, you with grandma. But just a lot of different dynamics. I know. But
Yeah.
I wanted to openly say that there's, so going back to Tamiko, I'm telling you, like, it just starts with how you operate today and how you move forward today, and not being afraid and humbling ourselves to say I'm sorry. Like, I call Bishop for real. I'm like, I want to have a good relationship. I'm just, we can fix it. We can fix it. And I want to say something. I don't want to be insensitive. There are things that has happened in our childhood, and maybe as a parent, you need to address it. You need to have a conversation. And if you need to go to therapy, it's okay. So we can be healed from it, so we can grow. There are resentment. I feel God talking to somebody. I know we got to go. But there are some people that you're dealing with resentment with your family, your parents, because how they handle things. Like, and pray that God opens a door so healing can happen. And I know we say pray about it, but there's some things that we just need to say and talk about it and say, I'm sorry. I didn't do good, and I made a mistake, but, you know, forgive me, so we can move forward. Yeah. So I don't want to be insensitive, man. I know sometimes I say you can't change the past, but you can ask for forgiveness for the past.
Yes, you sure can.
Yeah, you can try to bring some closure to it and move on from it. So if you enjoyed tonight, let us know. Hey, brothers, we got to come back. I wanted to be there. I had to work. And so we want to do this more in person. And our next one, the women will be in Modesto. So women from our Modesto campus will have a women's event where women can come to it. And then we'll still have this real talk. So we're working out the kinks, but I wanted to be in person right there with everybody. So thank you. They're saying they enjoyed it. Any final words, Deacon Eastland, Deacon Floyd?
Yeah, like you said about, you know, if you did something out of disrespect to your grandparents and they're still alive, it's best to apologize. Like you said, because when I was younger, my grandpa was driving down the road and I was on my bike and he pulled up beside me. When he pulled up beside me, I called him by his first name. Instead of saying, you know, Papa or Grandpa, I called him by Ollie, you know. So then when I got home, he was already home. But when I got home, my stuff was packed. But you know, that kind of messed me up for a long time. You know,
Sir.
It took years for him to accept me again, just by me calling.
Really?
Yeah, it took about 3 or 4 years before he accepted me again.
Wow.
Because he said I disrespected him.
Right.
You know, and I was just making fun, but you know, sometimes you can't play with your grandparents.
Oh, man.
You know.
Right. Oh man. I didn't know you was gonna say that. That's why I kind of laughed. But you said,
why you laughing at my pain? You
I
know?
thought you was gonna say you got a whooping when you got home. I didn't know you was gonna say that. Oh man, yeah. I hear you. Yes, right. That's good, Deacon Eastman, Deacon Floyd.
Yeah, sometimes I just feel like we have to be a little faster in asking someone to forgive us for whatever, even if it's not your child.
Right.
I mean, when you wrong somebody, we have to be a little faster because time is running out. I mean, we don't know when God's gonna break the clouds. We have to be a little, as believers, we got to be on our toes. We have to be ready, not get ready. So the minute the offense happened,
right.
Lord, forgive me. If Adam would have said, Lord, forgive me when they sinned, man, paradise would have been still full.
My goodness. Yes. Oh man. I appreciate everybody. I do. We're gonna come back again, have
Yeah.
this real talk again. Just a good conversation. I didn't want nobody to feel like right or wrong answers. Just how you feel, how you process everything. And pray for whoever Caleb beat up for kissing his sister. I'm gonna do some investigation. Listen, if you can give tonight, come on, give. Image Church Fresno, GWC Modesto, you can give. Also, you can give online. The ways to give are on the screen. Take a moment and give. Thank you so much. Let me get 5 people to say they're giving tonight. Will be such a blessing. We got something so special for you this Sunday. If you can make it, please let somebody know we're in town. Let me tell you this. Modesto campus, 2 families came. One, a sister came, she says, I walked the neighborhood, and when I looked up and seen the sign, I said, 1:15, that's a perfect time for me to be at church. I said, okay. I said, Lord, another family came to. So let's just keep inviting people. Let's ask God, both campuses, online or in person, just to keep directing us and blessing us. So if you are giving tonight, just type in the chat box, I'm giving, real quick. Type that in the chat box, I'm giving tonight. Thank everybody for being on, being a blessing. Mother Collins, thank you so much. Brother Malik and his wife at our in Modesto, she had a baby boy, and I believe she went over there and blessed her. So we're going to bless Sister Collins for blessing that family with some diapers. And just, I talked to Brother Malik on Sunday, said the baby's doing good. So we just want to keep that family in prayer. Praying for Pastor Robinson, Lady Robinson. Thank God for you, everybody. Again, if you're giving, just type in the chat box, I'm giving tonight. If you can give $5, $10, be a blessing in your giving. May God bless everybody tonight. Thank you once again for watching. Thank you once again for being on. I want you to join us again on Sunday, the Lord's will, if you can. Thank you, Deacon Eastland. Thank you, Deacon Floyd. Thank you, Deacon Glover, for being a part of this Real Talk conversation. I love everybody. Y'all not talking to me in the chat box tonight. We're quiet tonight. Let me know you are here and thankful. Tell me God bless something. Tell me God bless you. Let me see you tonight. Thank you so much again for watching. I'm gonna give it a minute. I want to see some people. Just tell me something in the chat box. Thank you, Sister Kamisha. Thank you for giving today. Thank you for being on tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody, for being on tonight. There you go, my brother Eugene. Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for being on. Thank you tonight. Thank you for being a blessing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Stacy Spencer. Thank you. Thank you for being on tonight. You blessed me for being on. She made some fried chicken, Deke. I felt like Deacon Easton. I said, you making fried chicken like it's a fellowship meeting. That Sister Maurice, thank you for being on. Thank you, my cousin Tanya. Thank you for being on. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Walter, Uncle Walter, man, thank you for always joining us. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. Tara, thank you. There it is. Thank y'all. I love when we interact with one another. Have a beautiful, blessed day. I love you. Be blessed. God bless. Amen.
Amen.